Good morning, good morning. Oh, my beanie's not in there. Sorry, I'm trying to find my beanie. I have eaten breakfast and I have clothes in the washer and I've finally done the dishes. Yeah. I very much needed to do the dishes before I left for Orlando, but what am I doing? Finding my beanie. What am I? So since I finished the other, there it is, the other sequel to that book last night, I'm gonna do one of my TikTok review videos on it since I enjoyed it. So I wanted to find my beanie to put that on so I could do that right now. So I filmed the video and I put it up, although it's too long for me to post on my Instagram story, and I don't think I want to post them as reels. I don't know. Anyway, see, this is exactly what I talk about when I'm like, when my work week is crazy, or I'm in the parts of the work week that I'm like, oh my gosh, like so much going on, whatever, you know, can't wait for the day that I, you know, don't have anything. Which, of course, I have work this evening, but the whole day, the only thing I have is the call about the script at 1, and it is 11:20, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, don't know why my watch just randomly speaks to me, but I sit here, and I'm like, okay, guess I'm just gonna read a book, like, I don't know what to do. So my phone call went well with the people for the script and with my managers. So all is well on that front. I have sent off the polished version as a PDF and as a FDX file. So now the only thing that's left is for me to get paid the second half of my money. Yay. Yay for money. So I have decided I will be writing a script next month because there are a few of them that are definitely ready. So I just need to decide which one. Because that's the problem here, is that there are multiple of them that are pretty much ready. But I don't have one that's like speaking to me right now. The amount of joy that I see and that floods my body when we all know how stressful that week was when my job was working me overtime a whole ton and it was ridiculous and I was stressed, and then I worked the extra day for the festival and all that. Yeah, that wasn't fun, but you know what is great? You know what is great? Is that when I just looked at how much I got paid for the past 2 weeks. Oh, let me preface this by saying, everything, and I've said it before, everything that the DFB job pays me, that is my mortgage, usually. Just long story short, basically all of that goes to mortgage because typically I am making half of what it is about every 2 weeks. So basically, throughout the span of a month, both of those paychecks. So that number just happens to be 600. So 1,200 basically a month for my mortgage. Now, the reality is that my mortgage is actually a little bit higher than that. Hopefully by the end of this year, that will no longer be the case because I didn't have Homestead this past year, and now I've applied and been approved for Homestead, so that should go down. I don't know if it'll be at the end of this year. At some point it will, but when I was getting the house, the down payment on the house, the part of the down payment that one of my grandfathers put in wasn't able to actually go towards the down payment on the house. So instead, that money is in a very specific account that is only used for mortgage. So that is why instead of putting the actual total mortgage amount in, I do the 1,200 because the rest of that money covers the rest of it. So that means, I say all of that to say, whenever I get a payment from work and that payment is over 600, any of the money that is left over from that 600, I put into my own savings and SOS and checking accounts to use because I allocate 1,200 from that job, which is, well, no, that's a lie. That's not a, hang on. I did, since now I work on, now that I work on the, I almost said evenings, on weekends, I make over 600 every 2 weeks. So there should always be a little bit extra that is allocated, but sometimes that number is higher for when I work stuff like overtime or extra hours and things like that. So I am so excited that my payment just came through for the past 2 weeks. And it is $306 over. So it's $906. So 600 of that goes to the mortgage and 306 gets allocated to the other accounts. Yay! So I finished reading the science fiction book I was reading, which was okay. It wasn't bad, but wasn't a favorite. There's technically more in the series, but I was like, I'm okay. Then the next one that popped up is one of the books that I honestly can't even really remember how it ended up on my shelf, but it was like the children's book, like Adventures of Pinocchio, and I was like, okay, I'll just read this and get it out of the way. And I got like 30 pages in and I was like, what version of Pinocchio is this? Because this is weird. And so I just was like, never mind. And then the next book that popped up is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. So Jenny Han is also the author of To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is the book that I enjoyed the movie adaptation, but I tried reading the book and I just despised the main character. So I was a little wary about starting to read this book because they've been on my shelves for a while, and now I know they made the TV series out of the first book, and I think they're getting ready to release the second one, I think. But anyway, I ended up reading more of it than I thought tonight. I mean, I'm still not super far into it. It's like 50, 60 pages, something like that, because it's late and I want to make sure I get enough sleep before work. But it's okay, you know, it's good so far. Obviously, I'm continuing to read it. It's helpful that the chapters aren't super long, so that's nice. But yeah, so I have the first and the second one. I don't know if there's more in the series. I can't remember, but I do have the first and second one. But I'm going to bed. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. All my social media is in the description. Love you all.